So then, of course, there are some other girls who also made a splash on night one. The first being Susie. She came across as very friendly, very approachable, easy to talk to. She just seems like a fun person. My only worry with her, I will say, is that especially in her little promo reel and in her first conversation with Clayton, she just seems like she's adventurous. She likes to take risks and kind of do things that most other people don't, which is fine. You know, like, more power to you. That's cool. But I'm just worried that she's the type of person that's her whole or her only personality trait. And that can get kind of old. And it also makes me wonder, because in her first conversation with Clayton, Clayton was like, yeah, like, this is outside of my comfort zone. Like, I'm really new to all this. And she was like, oh, I live life outside of the comfort zone. Everything I do is outside of the comfort zone. Which, number one, like, just looking at that statement at face value, that doesn't mean anything if you live your life outside of the comfort zone. What you're really saying is that you live life outside of what you assume most other people's comfort zone to be. But if you live your whole life outside of that, that is your comfort zone, right? Outside of her comfort zone would then be doing something normal or drab, or, like, you know, having a normal 9 to 5, or like, because it seems like she's a wedding videographer. Like, that's not probably in an office setting. Like, she's out and about, going to different places, different venues, different weddings, always traveling on the go. So her outside of her comfort zone would be slowing down a little bit and having a night in, having a game night, watching movies. Like, you know, like, it doesn't, if you say you do everything outside of the comfort zone, then the word comfort zone no longer has any meaning, or it takes on a new meaning. That's first of all. And second of all, it gave me the vibes of, does she truly enjoy doing all of these wild things that she does? Or it's part of her doing it because she wants to be the most interesting person in the room, because she likes was she always a person that loved coming back from summer break with the best stories from what she did over the summer? You know, I think that it seems like she does enjoy these things. It does seem like she does enjoy the lifestyle that she lives, but I'm just curious about what the full motivation of everything that she does is. The last person that stuck out to me was Rachel. She got a lot of screen time because she got a promo clip. She got like 2 to 3 minutes of her intro from the limo, and then she got a little chit chat with Clayton. She's in her flight school. She's a flight instructor. She brought her mom, ? The relationship was never defined. They just kind of skated right over that. Like, Clayton was like, who is this? And she was like, my wing woman. That's not clear. That's not clear enough. Whatever. And so, we've been seeing a lot of Miss Rachel from last night. A few notes that I had about her, just in their conversation. First of all, her body language. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but her body language was kind of weird. Like, she seemed like one of those girls who, like, you meet a cute guy at the bar and you're really trying to show him with your body language that you're really into him. So, like, everything he says, you're just like, like, you just laugh and you're, like, all over the place. You're, like, trying to get next to him and, like, you're just running around. And I noticed at one point she was all the way leaning back on the couch in laughter. I was like, girl, this man is not funny. Like, he's not said a single thing. I can guarantee you he's not said anything funny enough to make you keel over in laughter. So she was just doing a lot with that. She was kind of like moving her hair, and like it was a lot going on. And then the second thing I noticed, she does seem like a genuine person. She seems like she has a lot of depth to her. I think it's cool that she's kind of like a woman in the field of aviation. You don't see that a lot. So I'm interested to get to know more about her. But I did not feel as though she did a good job of expressing that or leading the conversation to make herself present all those interesting things about her in an interesting way. Just because it felt very repetitive. Like, yeah, they started off talking about the flight school, like, okay, cool. But then it seemed like that was the only thing they were stuck on. And it felt like they would joke about it, kind of get away from it a little bit, and then come right back to it. Like, it just felt like they were talking in circles and saying the same things. Like, Clayton even literally said the same thing twice. Like, she was like, oh, you know, like, I can teach you how to fly. And he's like, I don't trust myself in a cockpit. And it was like, ha, like, whatever. And then they're talking about, like, skydiving out of a plane or bungee jumping or whatever. And Clayton's like, oh, but don't trust me in the cockpit. It's like, okay. You know, like, it was just like, all right, okay, all right, let's move on. Let's have this conversation progress. But it didn't. If you want more where that came from, be sure to check out my full recap, which will pop up on the screen.